There we are. That is, that should do it. Hello. There we are. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hello there. Red Lemon Cola already instantly in. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been absent for over 3 months now. And I was a bit bored today, not got much to do, done all my chores, done all my stuff. So I figured I'd do something. Now, I was going to speak about Telltale, but for the life of me, I can't bring myself to do it. I think now I've, quit, and bear in mind, I've not just quit, videos. I've quit the game altogether. I can't be bothered with it anymore. And I have no desire to go back to it. Even curiosity wise, I have a look at it, but it's I could not care to return to that game. So instead, I'm going to be going on this. I'm going to be doing a Walking Dead theme thing. Now, this is going to be difficult because this is every piece of Walking Dead media, and I think before we even begin, we need to sort of break this down because we can't possibly compare novels to video games to, TV shows to comic books. I just think the mediums are too different for me to be able to sort of compare them and sort of rank them above each other. So what I'm going to do is we're going to make S for TV, and this will include web episodes as well, obviously. We got an A for TV. And we're going to keep it real simple. We're going to have a B for TV. Actually, wait, no, I'm complicating this too much. Okay, so tell you what I'll say is this doesn't. These S, A, B, C, D tier, and I'm going to do we have to do oh god. Oh no. We have to do an F minus, right? Oh, we have to do an F, and then maybe actually below. What color do we want that? We'll make that F that. Okay. And we'll make this one. We'll just call this bad. This is gonna be a long stream. Yeah, it might very well be a long stream. I'm trying to think, how do I do this? I didn't really have much of a plan here. I need to, essentially, I don't want to compare things, but maybe I'll do it in the context of the medium, okay? So, I know, so ready for this. Oh, awesome. I think I'm going to do it in the context of the medium. So, when I, say, put a book at, S, don't be well, is that book really as good as, season 4 of the show? No. I'm doing it in the context of the medium, okay? That's what we're going to do it on. And I might need your help with some of these because, my God, the images are so small. Starting off here, we have Walking Dead Assault. Now, you can no longer play this mobile game, but I do remember playing it back in the day. I believe I actually have 2 videos on my channel of some gameplay from this game. If you go back in my archives, you might be able to find it. Now, it's actually not a terrible mobile game, to be honest with you. In comparison to a lot of them, this one was fairly, decent. You paid, an initial, $4.99 or something for it, and then essentially you got, you had the whole game. There was no microtransactions. You could buy the points, but the points were relatively easy enough to earn, so you can buy characters like Michonne and Dale and stuff. It was based on the comic as well. Very simple sort of bird's eye maneuvering. Never heard of it. Yeah, it got removed God, it must have been 5 or 6 years ago. It just got removed off the App Store like that, and there's no way of getting it. I've tried to emulate it before, but I've not been able to. Yeah, it was a very simple sort of bird's eye game. But I actually really liked it. And for a mobile game, I think it was pretty decent. So maybe I don't know if I'm putting this in the context of a video game or in the context of a mobile game. But we'll stick with video game for now. Obviously, because the premise of it's quite simple, I can't put it really in S. I think B is a fair thing for it. And by the way, anything I haven't played or haven't read or haven't done, I'm going to do it below right now. And we're going to put have not. What do I put? I'll just put no idea. No idea. Like an NA basically. Not applicable. There we go. Just an NA will do. Right. Because that is this one. Walking Dead Atlanta Run. Let me just. I need to do some real time research. I think that's what it is, isn't it? Walking Dead Atlanta Run. I don't think I have played this. Is that what it's called? Atlanta Run is a game. It's a game developed by MP Studio. I have not played this. This looks wild to me. That looks like... Yeah, that looks wild to me. I have never... Yeah, I haven't done that. This one here, I believe, is one of those really terrible mobile games. I don't really think I've played enough of any of these, like Walking Dead, like No Man's Land and all that. Like, I've not really played enough of them to really form an opinion. They are not my type of game, is all I can say. And for that reason, I'm just going to put NA. Dead Reckoning I have played. And do you know what? I quite like Dead Reckoning. I think I'd probably put it as an A. Maybe it's me. I really love it. It's a simple sort of minor story where you sort of, you're playing as Shane and you follow for... It's another game you can't play anymore. It's so annoying. It used to be on the AMC website, but it appears that they've removed it, which is very unfortunate. Because it was a fun game to play. Sorry, I just had to go close my door. I've got a chirping fire alarm. I've not got batteries to fix it. Yeah, no, Dead Reckoning was like just a quirky, nice little game. So I'm gonna put it in A, and maybe that's wrong. I've not played Fear the Walking Dead Dead Run. Road to Woodbury, man, it's been a while since I read this books. God, I don't remember much about it. I read it when it first came out. I've not reread it since. I like the novels for the most part, but they're not something I'd ever really go back to. I've read them once, and I'm not going to go back to them. So, I don't know. I think I'm probably going to put this at like, it's good. They are good. There's good moments in them. I'll put them at D. Fear the Walking Dead Flight. Was it 462? This is a webisode. I think it's a fairly decent webisode. I think it's one of the better ones. In the context of like the TV series, I think we'll put it for now. We'll put it at C. So this is Fear the Walking Dead Season 1. We finally got into a TV show. Now, I like Fear Season 1. I think it's a pretty solid... yeah, I did talk about Dead Reckoning on my Leon Bassett character profile. Fear the Walking Dead Season 1. I like Fear the Walking Dead Season 1 for the most part. It definitely isn't perfect. It has some issues. One of my biggest issues with Fear the Walking Dead is it was kind of marketed as this like sort of, we're going to see the break of the zombie, we're going to see the early days of the zombie outbreak. And it was kind of a lie, because although we did see like the first couple days, they sort of have everyone, Madison and the family in the neighborhood, and then they skip like 2 weeks or whatever it is. Like they do like a small skip, and you kind of miss a lot of that initial sort of, chaos and outbreak and stuff. And I was a little disappointed by it. I think, the show's pretty pretty messy. I like characters, I think Madison for the most part was pretty good. Travis was good. I wasn't too big on Alicia at the start. Nick, I really thought was an interesting character, very sort of unique. And I think it's fair where it is now. I think C is a good placement for it. It's about on par with the webisode, I guess. I hate to compare an entire 6-season television show to a small sort of essentially one episode, but I think in terms of the average quality, it's probably about here. Season 2 is a messy season. We're on a boat, then we're in Mexico, then we're what are we doing? We're at the hotel. Wait, were we at the hotel on that one? I think that's the hotel, isn't it? Is it the hotel? Wait, that's season... That is season 2, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Because the end of season 2 is when they all get... Yeah, because they're in Mexico and then they get shot by Troy's folks. Well, those people at the border. Yeah, it's a messy season. We're in so we're in the boat and then Mexico and then the hotel, and then we're at Thomas's place with his adopted mother or whatever, with Strand's boyfriend's mother. And then we're in and then we're in the hotel. It's a wild season. It's a bit messy in terms of actual sort of structure. It's a bit all over the place. Can't lie, but I still think it's good. There's definitely some great moments in there. Again, it's another sort of... I think it's about on par with season 1, to be honest. I think they're both fairly similar, although I probably would put season 2 above season 1. I do think there was more enjoyment, and I'd probably put it under that. I'd probably put Flight 462 right at the bottom there. Yeah, so I think the best is Fear the Walking Dead season 2 out of these three, but I still think it's probably C for me. This is season... Wait, is this season 3? Is this season 3? This is season 3, right? Of Fear. I forget the posters. I don't remember what the posters look like. I'm going to go with this as season 3 for now, unless someone can correct me. Yeah, so Fear the Walking Dead season 3 is probably the best. Well, it is the best season of Fear. It's really competent story, great nice setting. I do think near the end where we kind of abandon the ranch and we go to the dam, I know it's sort of tying in those sort of story threads. It did feel a little tacked on at the end though, with the whole like, oh, and now we're going to the dam. But everything else in season 3 of Fear is very solid. Like, I think the stuff with Otto and Troy, Troy, I think is a standout character. I absolutely adore Troy as a character. He's an arsehole. He's kind of, well, he definitely is a racist. He definitely is an arsehole. But I really appreciate his character. I think he's very nuanced. He's very interesting. He's fucking bonkers. And I think the relationship with him and Nick was very interesting. I like what they did with Madison, kind of turning her into this sort of, hardened, mother who would do anything to protect her kids. I think that works. I'm pretty happy with how they dealt with the stuff with, the stuff at the dam was pretty good, especially the stuff with Daniel and Strand, and then reuniting, and then obviously the sort of control over the dam. But the highlight is definitely the stuff with the ranch. The ranch stuff is brilliant. Honestly, it's some compelling storytelling, and I think... I would never put it in S. I don't think it's up there, but it definitely is the best show of Fear. The best season of Fear, that's for sure. And this is Fear Season 4. Fear Season 4 was an abomination of... It was a bastardization of the show. I generally think it's probably an F. It's creeping to bad. I quit the show after the mid-season finale. Oh, actually, the mid-season premiere, because I was fucking slapped. So first of all, they do a soft reboot. So we don't see what happened with the dam. Like, randomly, Luciana is just there. Randomly, like, everyone's okay and they're all reunited, and they just don't even address what happened to the dam. Or they, very briefly do it. Nick's killed off right at the start. I know the actor left, but still, it's not, doesn't, despite it not being the show's fault, it doesn't help the show. So he's dead. You're like, oh, shit, okay, whatever. And then, man, it's just like, it's all downhill from there. And then, like, the mid-season finale, they kill Madison off. The colour palette of this show is disgusting. It's all grimy and vile. The flashlights, the flashbacks even, are, like, overexposed. And the modern day stuff is all grainy and disgusting. The colour palette's awful. And then they kill off Madison in the mid-season finale. And then the second half of the season is such a bore. It's the most boring... slog of a show. I mean, it's really disrespectful bringing in Lenny James and basically booting off Madison from the show. Kim Dickens just kicking her off the show. It's really shitty. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. What is this? Is this? And actually, I'm curious now. How many shows is season 11 in this? I don't know if season 11 is in this tier list. That's season 10, isn't it? I don't think season 11's in here. I don't think this has been updated. Yikes. Yikesy. I don't know what we're going to do there. I'll have to just say. I'll just say where I'll put it. Also, Fear. Is Fear season 7 in here? Did I pick like a really outdated thing? Hang on a minute. Shall I find if there's a different one? So which one have we got? We've got Walking Dead Media tier list. Ooh. Yikesy, you didn't see that. Have you caught up with Fear the Walking Dead? Yeah, I'm all caught up with Fear the Walking Dead. I think it's such a bad show. I don't know. It's a terrible show. I can't... I could give you my opinions on it if you want. Oh, this one looks better. Has this got season 11 in it? That's season 11, isn't it? It's just not got... Do you know what? Shall we not do the media? We could do media. Should we just skip the shows? Tell you what we'll do. We'll skip the shows and we'll do the shows in their own separate one, right? I promised Walking Dead media. We'll do Walking Dead media. Obviously, this has got the webisodes. We'll just rank everything else, okay? So let's go. Here's Negan. Pretty good. Little overrated. B tier, okay? This one, I don't know what it is. Walking Dead Michonne special. Honestly, nothing that great. The Governor special is about... I think all the specials are pretty, like, random. I haven't played No Man's Land. We're not doing these for now. Rise of the Governor is a really good book. I really enjoyed Rise of the Governor Part 1 and Part 2. Or I'm thinking Fall of the Governor. I'm thinking Fall of the Governor Part 1 and Part 2. Rise of the Governor, no, I remember Rise of the Governor. I'd still put it here. But Fall of the Governor, I think this is Part 1, Part 2, and this is Part 1, or vice versa. Those both are two solid ass books. They're really good. I don't know what this is. Walking Dead Descent. That's a solid ass book. Put that in A. Actually, no, not in A. What am I doing? Put that in C probably. On the par with Rise of the Governor. Walking Dead Invasion was pretty bad. Didn't like that one. Wait, is this for Return to Woodbury? That one's pretty good. I know this one with a fire on it. I forget the title, but I actually thought that was pretty bad. I don't think I finished it. Walking Dead Passage, that was a bad web episode. That was pretty bad. Our World, I don't know. Haven't played that one either. I don't know what that is. Road to Survival, I haven't played. Saints and Sinners, I heard good things about it, but I haven't played. Walking Dead Social Game, that was like an F game. I mean, there was kind of cool little... Some of the things they did were pretty cool, but yeah. Okay. We'll save the Telltale stuff to last, I think. Survival Instinct is a bad game, but I really like the mini game they have in it, where you like just survive endless waves of zombies. I do appreciate that, but the actual game itself is pretty trash. Walking Dead Alien is I really like that. I think the art style is unique. I'd probably put it with Here's Negan. I'm not going to remember all these covers, I'm not going to lie. Walking Dead covers for the comics. So you'll have to help me out maybe a little bit. We'll do the Telltale games, and then let me just pull the shows. Let me just sort of order all this for myself real quick. So we'll order all these shows, put them all there. Oh no, that's Typhoon. Oh, Walking Dead Typhoon, I haven't read yet. I do really want to read it. I sort of spoilt it for myself though. Torn Apart, I like quite a lot, although I think the issue with Torn Apart is it's got a cool twist, but everything else is kind of crap in that episode. Like it's sort of, the twist is really awesome with Hannah being the zombie, but everything else that leads up to it is really random. Like we follow Andrew for like 2 parts, and it's like, and then he just dies, and it's, you know, it wasn't really his story, and it felt like they wasted a lot of the time, you know, the very short time they have. The effects are pretty bad. Some of the acting is pretty horrific in that one too. But I do like the twist, so I think D's fair. Cold Storage, it was honestly pretty pointless. I didn't really get that one. I still don't. And The Oath, again, the twist is really cool. I actually like the characters a lot more in this one. I think this one probably would be my favourite webisode. I'd put it above Flight 4462 for sure. I don't know what that is either. That seems like some sort of Nerf gun there. I don't know what that is. That seems wild. This is the Governor special. What did I say that thing was before? I swear I've already done a Governor special. Is this another Governor special? Did they do 2 Governor specials? Oh no, was this a Michonne special? Wait, or was it just a special? There was like that random special as well. Anyway, Governor special, I think they're all about on par, to be honest. I think they're actually quite high there. I think they probably all go quite low. And the Tyrese special can go there too. They're really like a lot of the specials. My issue with the specials, those comics, is there's nothing in them. They're just kind of like, it's stuff that didn't really matter, and then like a lot of them sort of just repeat story, like comic panels we've already seen. So I'm not a big fan on them. Should we bother doing all the comics? I don't know if I know all the covers. That's Days Gone By. I think I'll leave the comics for now. Yeah. Anyway, let's do video games. Let's do the Telltale games. We'll leave the comics for now. I don't know if I can do them just because I don't really recognize the covers, and the issue with the Walking Dead comics is the stories kind of blend together. You know, like especially when bear in mind I sort of read them from I read the issues, not the volumes. So I read the issues, so I'm not really familiar like which volume is which, you know, like which issue belongs to which volume, because I've read the issues, not the volumes, apart from like the first like maybe 6 or 7, because then I read them in volume form. Anyway, let's do Telltale games. So listen, there's an objective correct Telltale live stream where you rank all the Telltale TW characters. Yeah, I could do that one. So listen, there's an objective right thing in here. So how many categories we got? We got the bad, the F, the D, the C, the B, the A. So I don't think any of them are bad, for sure. Telltale Season 1 is by far an S tier product. Great characters, great, you know, just everything was great about it. Lee Clementine's dynamic was really good. You know, really charming gameplay, quick time events, you know. They're kind of a gimmick, but whatever. Like this, it's more for the story. I really love. The pace of the season was worked tremendously well. You know, each episode were somewhere different. When you know, with the drugstore, episode 1, episode 2, we go to the dairy farm. Episode 3, we're on the road and then the train. Episode 4, we're in the city, and episode 5, we're kind of in the city again, but you know, different parts of the city and you know the hotel room and stuff like that, and then we have the end. Listen, am I going to tell you and blow smoke up your ass and tell you that this is like the best game ever made? No, it's not. It's clunky. It's a bit silly in parts. You know, some of the acting is pretty poor. Some of the writing is pretty poor in parts, but it's so charming and it's so you know, the emotions there and the character is there that I kind of don't really. I sort of overlook the smaller flaws in this game. There's like another thing is like how like Lee's pockets are immense. There's like one point he has like a car battery, an axe, a knife, and like a videotape all in his pocket, and it's like, wow, that guy's got big pockets. Like there's silly things like that you can definitely nitpick the game for. But yeah, I think it's too charming for me not to put it there. What did I think of 400 days? We'll get on to... Wait, is 400 days included in this? No, it's not, is it? See, I'll give my opinion on 400 days. 400 days I'd probably put in, like, B, maybe. Actually, probably C. Yeah, C, 400 days. On its own, 400 days is pretty cool. Just to have these, like, little anthologies that all sort of come together near the end, you know, for a nice little epilogue. I like that. I think it's a cool idea. The issue is it was sold to be like a big part of season 2, and it basically was useless. Like you don't need to play 400 days. You get nothing from playing 400 days, and then playing Walking Dead season 2. In fact, it's pointless because all you do is you get like one little scene with your characters because Bonnie goes regardless of how you played. So in a sense, I'm not a big fan of it. But I think on their own, the little individual stories are pretty cool. Anyway, moving on. Season 2. So I probably have a unique opinion on Season 2. I kind of really dislike Season 2. And I think I'm going to put it on D. So I don't think playing Clementine works. I really don't. I think the issue is Clementine's that character that... So when you're playing Season 1 of The Walking Dead, you're playing Lee, who's trying to protect this child. So that's, you know, you're playing this character who you have some connection to, sure, but like your objective is clear. You're looking after this girl and teaching her how to survive. That's the dynamic, and I think the thing that makes season 1 really work, and the reason why the emotional beats there is because of that dynamic that they really sort of hone in on. And then season 2 comes along, and you don't have that. You just have Clementine on her own. And then she comes into a group of people who, honestly, the whole cabin group, they are the worst character. They're not like the characters from season 1. These guys are poorly characterized. They don't really have much character to them, and they almost just have a gimmick. Like, I like Luke to some degree, but even Luke was like, I didn't really know much about Luke. He was just like a nice guy, right? Like, what else do we really know about him? Not much. Like, what's his wants? What's his desires? You know, he's got some quirks here and there. And then it kind of felt like a little bit sidelined when Kenny just comes out of nowhere. And then the disaster that there was the end of that, you know, how they ended it with the cliffhanger and then everyone gets shot. And then... Does this include Fear the Walking Dead? Yeah, we're going to do Fear the Walking Dead separately, Amazing Alex. But anyway, yeah. So, like, Season 2 was just such a mess, and I think the ending was kind of poor as well. And so I'm just not a big fan of Walking Dead Season 2 Telltale. And then the Season 3, I think, is a C for me. It's not as good as Season 1, nowhere near. And people complain about Javi being the protagonist. I think Javi works. He's well characterized. He's very likable. I think David's pretty cool. Is well characterized too. Kate is too. Gabe's annoying, but even he is to an extent. And the gameplay, man, he just slaps that baseball bat killing. Like, it's just so fun. It's so much fun. Season 2 to me is like a drag. It's boring at parts. Season 3 is pretty fun. Is the story wacky and stupid? Yeah, it's wild. Is it like the pacing in Season 3? It's like on cocaine. It's crazy. It's going mad. It's going like 1,000,000 miles per hour. But I kind of like it. The final episode of Season 3 though was a mess. Jesus, that was some piss poor. Some piss poor writing there. Walking Dead Michonne, I barely remember. I think it's probably the worst out of all of them, if I'm going to be honest. I don't remember much about it, and I don't really care to replay it, so there we are. And then Season 4 is an A. Season 4 is the second best. Everything I said about Season 1 kind of applies to Season 4. And I think the ending, they really stuck the ending. They really landed the ending. There's some really cool dynamics there. Clem, feels... Oh, that's another problem with Season 2 I have, is Clem kind of makes all these decisions and is, forced to do all these things when she's a child surrounded by adults. So they kind of fixed that with Season 4, where she is a child amongst children, and so, but she's the more experienced child, so it makes more sense for her to be doing the stuff, And I like that. It logic, so Season 4 is the second best by far. I think... I wouldn't be like mad if some people put it above Season 1. That's how much I love Season 4. But I think I think I'll probably put it in S tier along with Season 1. Anyway, let's do TV shows. Let me just read comics. Nick from the Cabin is my favorite in the entire franchise. Lol. I don't remember anything about Nick. That's the problem. Like Nick, I remember Nick was kind of grumpy. Kind of like a stupid kid. He shot that guy on the bridge, and then like, what else does Nick do? He can die then after that if Walt doesn't save him, and then after that Nick just like hangs around like a useless lost puppy, and then eventually he's just dead. So like he's like I don't. Fair enough if he is your favorite character, but I don't know. I don't think it's that. It was cool we saw Eddie again in Season 4. Yeah, it was a nice like little thing to see him again. But at the same time, it's kind of, it's not really consequential. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really make any difference, does it? It's just a cool, like, oh, here's where this guy ended up, and now he's dead, Just include Fear the Walking Dead. I loved Conrad and Javi from Season 3. Yeah, Conrad was pretty good. Although, I kind of love the idea of a character who can kind of die in, every episode. But then also survive to the end, which is what they basically do. I think he can die in every episode. Is it every episode he can die, or is it most episodes he can die? The issue is the first time he can die is when he's a dick to Clem. So all the players kill every player. I don't believe any player actually saved him. I think most players just killed him. If you were playing honestly. But yeah, no, I liked his character. I think he was good. Javi, I really like. I really wish they went back to Javi in Season 4. I mean, maybe not in Season 4 because I think that would have complicated it. But it could be cool to have another Javi central story. The issue is Kate, Gabe, and David all have determined determined fates, which kind of what's the word? Means it's very hard to do a follow-up game because you'd have to essentially just kill them all off in episode 1. And then I think Javi on his own is a bit boring, I can't lie. I've only watched Season 1 and 2 and played Season 1 on PS3. Fair enough. You like Kenny. Yeah, I like Kenny. He's a good character. Anyway. let's do TV shows. So I think we'll just stick with these tiers for now. Let's not complicate it. So D is very bad. C is like a meh to ca. B is pretty good. A is very good, and S is amazing. I think maybe should we add like a superb one? So we add a S plus, and we'll make that. If we make that, pink. And then we'll add that one above S plus. Wait, oh, it's not done it. Oh, I've done that to that one. Hang on. S plus. There we are. We'll change that to. Oh God, what have I done? Change that color. What's a good S color? Red. Yeah. Let's just do TV shows now. We've done kind of most. We've done most of the Walking Dead medium. Comics. We could maybe talk about the comics. I don't know if I can be bothered though. Anyway, let's do Walking Dead TV shows. So, I wish they would order. Can we just first of all organize this? I just want to. So that's season 1, right? This is season 2. This is season 3. Then season 4. Season 5 is there. Season 5 is there. Then season 6. Season 7 is. That's season 7, isn't it? Season 7. That's season 8. Season 9 is Rick looking all red. Season 10 is that one. And then 11 follows. And then we've got Fear Walking Dead Season 1. Fear Season 2. Fear Season 3. Fear Season 4 is that one, is it not? And this is where it's going to get tricky for me. Now, I believe that's Season 5, is it not? This is Season 5. Please, someone Google it real quick for me. Put tails at the end. I'm going to have to Google it, I think. I don't think anyone's here. I think everyone's abandoned me. Fear Season 5 poster. That's Season 5, yeah. So what's the Season 6 poster? Oh, give me an image. That's Season 6, yeah. So there we are. And that must be 7. And obviously we haven't got 8 yet. Okay. Oh yeah, because it's Strand and Morgan. Right. So let's go. So what do I think is the best? Actually, tell you what. I'm just going to go from what I think is the best to the worst. Alright, we'll do this. So the best season of The Walking Dead, in my opinion, is Season 4. Okay? Season 4, I think, has the most, the best arc. So we start with, well, has the best sort of, let me structure this. So first of all, the whole season has a really strong theme. And that theme is the idea of redemption and kind of being able to sort of come back from the things that you do. We see this from the very start to the very end. So we started off with Rick, you know, kind of, he's this better man. He's put the gun away. He's a farmer now. He's not a leader. He's kind of stepped back from being in power, you know. And he goes out in the woods and he meets this woman called Clara who like tries to attack him and then kills herself and then basically says, you know, the reason why I killed myself is because you don't get to come back from the things you do, right? And, you know, Rick's kind of haunted by that. We see that in the mid-season finale where basically Rick says to the governor, you guys can come in the prison, you can come live with us, you know, we don't have to do this, we can blah, 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 blah. And the governor says, like, you know, we're not too far gone. And the governor says, liar, and he kills Herschel, right? And then you would think it kind of ends there, but the theme plays out throughout, you know. We have it kind of with Lizzie and Mika, the idea of like, well, fuck, she's killed her sister and now she's going to kill her baby. What do we mean? It says, well, we can't do anything. This is how she is. We're just going to have to put her down, you know. Really dark shit, but like, it's, you know, really awesome ethical questions and things like that. And then near the end as well with Rick, you know, we have those flashbacks back to the prison, and Rick's now like he bites Joe's jugular out. You know, he's burying guns, you know, and he's running away from the cannibals who are trying to trap him. It sort of comes full circle in a way, and he tries that approach again, that non-murderous approach, which really nicely sets up season 5, where Rick is a lot more hardened and a lot more brutal. Like, we see how, like, cold he is in season 5. He's so cold. And I think that was all because of season 4's amazing setup. Why that works. But yeah, season 4 all round is just a great season. So I think it's the best. And it's definitely S+. But I think there's something that shares S+, and that's season 6. Because season 6 is also a very good season. Similar, it has these arcs. And I think the main arc of season 6 is sort of family, but also like, I think it's like sort of family in the sense of, who are the, like, sort of Rick being able to broaden what is his family. So we kind of start off in, he wants to take over Alexandria because Alexandria is full of a bunch of pussies and Rick's not having it, okay? That's kind of like his motivation at the start of the season. And, he's nearly been kicked out prior in season 5. But he sort of steps up as kind of a leader, and Deanna kind of steps down, and he sort of says, like, dudes, we can, we can get these zombies, we can deal with these zombies. And we see, like, early on in that episode as well, he says to Glenn and Michonne, like, if these guys are dying, leave them, alright? Save yourselves. We save our people first. They're not our people. Rick doesn't see these people as his people, right? They're not his people. If they are dying, fucking leave them, alright? That's what Rick says. And then we kind of come to the mid-season finale, where we see Rick kind of has this moment where he sees all the Alexandrians rushing out to help him, right? And he finally accepts that, fuck, these are my people. Because Deanna says to him earlier on, like, they're all your people, Rick. They're all yours now, okay? They're all your people. You got to look after all of them. And then this is perfectly kind of comes on to the end where, Rick goes on this mission. He begins to help the Hilltop, obviously, as well. He kind of extends an olive branch to them. And then, near the end, we have, obviously, the Negan death. And look, listen, the cliffhanger I'm not a fan of, but it's like one piss-poor thing in an otherwise excellent season. So, also the Glenn fake-out death I'm not a big fan of. Those are my 2 issues with season 6, which I think definitely weaken it against season 4. So that's why I'd put it below season 4, but it's still up there for me. The next best season is a tricky one. It's not going to be season 9. I think I'd probably put the next best season is season 3, but it's only going to go S tier. So season 3 it's also got problems, don't get me wrong. I think that it's a bit slow at times, especially in the latter half. I think episodes like Arrow on the Doorpost, actually Arrow on the Doorpost is okay, but I Ain't a Judas, like, that episode was pretty slow. The episode with, I think Arrow on the Doorpost is a fairly slow episode too, but it also has, like, some absolute bangers. Like, This Sorrowful Life is a great episode. I think the finale, although Welcome to the Tombs has problems, it's not a perfect finale, but it definitely is it's not a bad episode. This does some good things. I like how it kind of ends as well with all the Woodbury people being brought into the fold. What else have we got? I'm trying to think. Season 3. Yeah, Death of Laurie, that and T-Dog, that was a great episode too. The mid-season finale was pretty exciting. I think a lot of the Woodbury stuff was really good. I think what they did with Herschel that season was great. What they did with Merle that season was great. Yeah, it's a little slow in places. Don't get me wrong. It's not a perfect season, but I think for the most part, season 3 is definitely up there for me of the main show. Then I think, what would I put after season 3? I'd probably put season 2. Now listen, everyone has their complaints about season 2, but I will take the worst episode of season 2, maybe one of the worst episodes. I think the second worst episode of The Walking Dead, which I'd probably say is Cherokee Rose, which is the episode where they do fuck all and the only zombie is the big fat one in the well. All right, that episode is a terrible episode. Okay, but I will take that episode 1,000,000 times over, like, Walking Dead season 8 action scenes, because like at the end of the day, there's a lot of heart and a lot of character, a lot of soul. So you gotta understand the background of season 2. The background is Frank Darabont was kicked out of the show. A new showrunner's in. All these actors are kind of like, well, fuck, what do we do now? And the budget is completely strapped. AMC give them no money to make this show, and they've got to make 13 episodes, okay? On top of that, the actress who plays Sophia, I think the mother basically said she couldn't. The mother kind of objected to some of the violence, and also, I think the actress had to be in school, so they had to kill her off for a start as well, which kind of fucked with the continuity a little bit too. Overall, a messy season, because like there was a lot of issues, but I think they pulled off a lot of good episodes and a lot of good character arcs, and yeah, a lot of it is just arguing conversations that do sometimes go back and forth. Some of them are pretty poor, like I think the Andrea one with her like allowing Beth to commit suicide, like that one was a pretty bad one. And then there's like others, but like I like season 2 a lot. There's a lot of substance there. I like some of the debates. I like some of the arguing. So for me, I'm putting it as an S tier. Below season 3. Ooh, which one do I put next? I think we'll probably do season 1 next. I may refigure this. I mean, season 1 is pretty good. It's 6 episodes. They're all kind of the same sort of quality, which is what I'd say is better than average. They're all better than average, but they're all fairly similar. So there's not really much to say about season 1, because it is pretty, it's only 6 episodes, it's only self-contained. I mean, they're all like very high quality. I think going back to them, they're almost kind of surreal to how like different they feel to the earlier Walking Dead episodes. Like these ones, Walking Dead season 1 feels like early horror, which is what I kind of like about them as well, though. They've got that unique flair to them. Anyway, we've got season 5. I think's next. Or is it season 9? Should I have next? I don't like season 9. I think season 9 is so overrated. Yeah, I think I probably have it like this. So season 5's next. The reason why season 5's next is because I like season 5, and I think a lot of people, it's quite clear that a lot of people love season 5 of The Walking Dead. And I understand why. My biggest issues with season 5 is I feel like they rush past the Terminus arc, and we spend way too long on the hospital arc. I think having Beth have an entire episode is ludicrous to me. She didn't. I mean, it's a risk on its own to give such a minor character in a whole episode. And to be honest, I just don't think it worked out. I don't think it's a good episode. And I think Beth it's a very weird character. It's not like a character I particularly enjoy. I know a lot of people love it, and that's fair due to it. But I don't really get Beth that much. What else? Then the stuff on the road, like I like some of the stuff on the road, but to me it dragged. Man, it dragged. And the stuff with Aaron, and the whole episode with Aaron, and we always get to Alexandria, and then the stuff in Alexandria was a little slow to begin with as well for me. I just don't think it's as great as people make it out to be. I mean, there's some great episodes in season 5. I think like 4 Walls and a Roof is an amazing episode. No Sanctuary is a very good premiere, but everything else to me in season 5 is kind of a little like lackluster and mediocre. Like it's got like 2 standout episodes and that's it. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan on season 5, but it's definitely good. It's up there. And then I think season 9 is probably after season 5. Season 9 is a little overrated in my opinion. Like I think the episodes, the bridge and the episodes leading up to Rick's disappearance they're all like season 1 level. They're better than average. They're good, but they're nothing stellar. Rick's final episode is great. I love that. It's one of my favorite episodes for sure. It's a great episode, but then after, it's a little slow to kind of get the ball moving on the future stuff. I think yeah, it's a little slow and it's a little clunky at first as well. I mean, there's good episodes like Scars as well. Was Scars in this season? I think Scars was in this season, wasn't it? Scars is another good episode. So more of a flashback episode, but that one was very good too. And then obviously you have all the Whisperer stuff in this one. I think the build up to the Whisperers was a little slow in my opinion too. But the finale was the second to last episode was pretty good. The calm before, that was a very good episode. I liked how they played that out. Although I disagree with them killing Henry, I still think it was a bizarre choice. But the actual finale of this season was so boring. It was such a slog. I don't know who decided to do a snow episode and there being absolutely no plot to it. That one was piss poor. I did not like that episode. And then finally we got season 7 next. Oh wait, which one's next? This is tricky because we got like the 4 worst seasons of the show. I think I probably have to put season 11 next. Season 11 is not that great, but it's got some great episodes. On the Inside, is that the one with Connie and Virgil? That's a great episode, man. That was stellar. I think a lot of the Commonwealth stuff was a bit rushed, they should have devoted more episodes. I think all the stuff with the Reapers was ultimately kind of pointless and annoyed me. I liked some stuff. There's some changes they did with some of the stuff with Lance was pretty good. I liked Lance as a villain until they kind of ruined him near the end, where how he died was a bit silly. But I sort of liked what they did with that. There's a lot of stuff I like in season 11. Don't get me wrong. I do like that scene where Maggie like shoots the Reapers. That's a cool scene. I'm trying to think of good things to say. Yeah, I mean season 11 is it's got some decent stuff in it, but I'll probably put it there. And then I'd probably put season 7 after that. Season 7 was a depressing ass season that kind of felt very dragged out. Like they didn't know what to do because they wanted to do an entire season for All Out War, which was bizarre to me. Season 7 and Season 8 could have been all combined into one 16-episode season. I generally believe that. You could cut so much of that shit out and just condense it and make just a cohesive 16-episode All-Out War arc. Start off with Negan killing Glenn and Abraham. You do like everything in season 7. We have them decide to fight by episode like 3 or 4, okay, and then by episode 8 we have like the attack, like the first attack at the sanctuary, right? And the final half that's all. The final half of season 7 would just be a lot. Like if I was to do like one of those fan rewrites of The Walking Dead, I thought about doing it before, but it's kind of like, to me they're kind of silly because it is just like fan fiction, and I've seen some of them, and some of them are like they're not much better like than the actual show, and in fact some of them are kind of worse. But if I was to rewrite like The Walking Dead hypothetically, I would have to I would just scrap season like 8 as a concept and season 7 as and just combine them into one season. I would finish The Walking Dead in 10 seasons. Which is a better number than 11 anyway. But yeah, season 7's there. But the first episode is pretty good. Season 8. No, then I put season 10. Season 10 was terrible. They drew out the Whisperer. Like they kind of didn't learn from the All Out War. They drew out the Whisperer War for an entire bloody season. Why? Why bother? Like, why do an entire season for a war that you could have done? Like, you already started the war at the end of season 9, so it's sort of like a repeat of the whole season 7, season 8 problem I have. And of course you have all the those terrible COVID episodes near the end. The only 2 good ones obviously are Here's Negan, and the Gabriel and Aaron one I quite like too. But like the episode where Daryl fixes his bike and Carol makes his soup, that's a good episode. Season 10, mess of a season, all over the place. Michonne's exit was fucking awful. Terrible exit for a great character. It makes no sense. Like, Rick's one made sense because Rick if you want Michonne to exit, have her be kidnapped. Don't have her willingly leave her children in the middle of a fucking war. It's like, that's insane. Like, just have her be kidnapped. I know, like, Herschel Jr. is getting kidnapped. I think Daryl's getting kidnapped and shipped off to France. Sure, like, it's overused, but it makes more sense than fucking her going back on her own accord, and she's not even gone back to see her kids, even though, like, what, like 2 years of, like, or 4 years have passed or whatever. Like, they're in the Commonwealth and Michonne still hasn't come back yet. Like, what the fuck? Wild. Season 8 is... Actually, I think Season 10 has to be here, and Season 7 has to be here. Yeah, Season 8 is just terrible. It's too much action, boring. There's no story. You can sum up season... You could probably do all of Season 8, condense Season 8 into 4 episodes. I generally think you could. So, Fear Season 2, I think I've already sort of touched on it. I think, Season 1 there, Season 2 is probably just a bit better than it, so we've already sort of talked about that. Season 3, I think, is probably S. I wouldn't put it... I think I'd probably put it in between 3 and 1. Yeah. No, sorry. 3 and 2, not 3 and 1. Yeah, I'd probably put it there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy enough with there. Season 5 is... No, Season 4 even is down here. Season 5 is down here. Season 6 is maybe here. Season 7 is down here. Fear is terrible, okay? Fear is awful. Fear is I mean, everyone goes a bit crazy about Season 6 because it's the season with the nuke and the Virginia and all that. And I think Virginia is an improvement. She's an okay villain. And I think the Pioneers, whatever they're called, were okay. And there's some good episodes there. The stuff with I like Teddy as a character, as just like as a concept, was kind of cool. And the idea of dropping a nuke is pretty wild. But yeah, I think it's a little bit better than the others, but not by much. And then like these seasons, that one was terrible. I've talked about. This one was awful too. I don't remember much what happened. I think there was like a power plant at some point. They built a plane, which was fucking wild. And then they landed, and then and then the second half, you had like Logan, who was the most milquetoast villain I think I've ever seen, and then he was replaced by Virginia near the end, and then everyone gets split up, and Morgan gets shot, and he's all injured, he's gonna die, and then that's when Season 6 comes along. Yeah, the premiere of Season 6 is pretty good too, actually. And then that season was I don't remember much about it, but it wasn't good. World Beyond Season 1 wasn't great. World Beyond Season 2 was not great. I think I'd probably put that one there too. And Tales of the Boring Dead was also pretty shit. I was not a fan of Tales of the Boring Dead. Yeah. Well, I think I'll probably end it there then. I think no one else is watching now. I'm considering doing like other things in terms of like live streaming or doing other videos. I kind of want to touch on Walking Dead though a bit more. Yeah. Trying to think how I could do it. I sort of want to do maybe something for the Fear like finale, final episode. I kind of wanted to do it for Walking Dead, but I ended up not doing it. And I kind of regret not doing it. But maybe we do some sort of like live stream event for the Fear the Walking Dead finale. Not that anyone really cares about Fear. Yeah, I don't know. I've always kind of wanted to do one of those rewrites as well, Walking Dead rewrites, those fan rewrites. But I don't know how I'd do it. because I'd have to restrict myself. Like, I'm not bringing Andrea from, like... Do you like... Because in my heart, I would like want to keep like Herschel around, you know, or like keep I'd want to keep certain characters around, I think, and I think maybe the issue is maybe I should restrict. If I was to do that as a task, I'd have to set some rules up. Like, I can't. If a character dies in a season, they have to stay dead. I think that would maybe that has to be a rule. Like, I can't bring characters out. Like, if Andrea dies in season 3, she has to die in season 3. I just have to find a better way to do it. I think that's more of an interesting challenge, because otherwise I end up just writing the comic. You know, I don't think I have to stick with the characters we've got. Yeah, I think maybe that would be the way to do it. Because season 1 I wouldn't change much. Season 2 I would change quite a bit. Maybe should I restrict yourself to locations as well? Because that might be an issue. I could restrict episodes. Oh, fuck it, I'll restrict episodes. Yeah, that's how I'll do it. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Sorry, I got a bit brain dead there at the end. It's hard to speak for an hour straight. Goodbye.